This is the guy that made the map of this model of Jerusalem.
Temple. This is actually the second temple, and it's very interesting. It seems to be, for the most part, correct. It's it's got one main entry there. So it's got one main entry there, and it's got 3 entries on the sides. And this was much smaller than the first temple. The first temple was quite a lot bigger, right, than this temple. But I mean, this is childish, and I agree, it's kind of childish. But when do you get to walk through a model, right, and actually experience it and see how, or, I mean, they couldn't even view it from above or surround it, right? So the model actually gives us a really good ideas of just how it was built, right? And if you'll notice that cross, and at the head of the steps there, right? And Jesus says, I am the way. Now this outer court is the court for the Gentiles, right? So this cross right here is for the Gentiles. This is also where the ceremony sacrificial took place, right? And this is the outer court. We have no idea how it was designed. We can take its form from the things that was given. And we're fixing to go through the way, right, that Christ created. And we go into the inner court, right, that's basically known as the one for the Jews. And you have a nation of Jews, right, and you have a nation of Gentiles. So God's temple, I believe, stood for certain things. And so there was a court created for the Gentiles, a court created for the Jews, right? And then we have this room. This room is the holy room, okay? This room would have been for the children of God, right? See, this temple tells a story. You have the children of God who would be in this room. Now, there was no way in this room but through Jesus Christ, right? He opened this doorway as well. This would be a veil, right, covering the mercy seat there. This temple tells a story. And you have the beginning, right? And this is the Holy of Holies, by the way. You had the garden. The garden, right? And Adam and Eve was thrown out of the garden, and there was 2 angels that guarded the tree of life and the garden, right? And we have 2 cherubims that represents the guarding of the mercy seat, correct? All right, so in the beginning, this mercy seat is the start, right? Now, what is the next thing that happens, right? The next event, as far as the nation, is Abraham and his children. This room representing that, right? When we go on the outside, you'll notice 12 columns representing the columns or children of Jacob that Israel was built upon. All right, so you have this inner building that has 12 columns, and to me they represent, right, those 12 children of Jacob's. And you have their children, right, a place for them. Now, when we go to the outside of here, you have a much bigger place, right, for the Gentiles, which is very interesting, right? And in the third temple that they're wanting to build, they haven't built it yet, so this could change, or it could be rumored, or whatnot. You have up here, and I hope I can find a picture of what I saw. Okay, so this is the picture that I wanted to show of the temple and the buildings. They're two-story, and in those two-story houses, you got 3 houses on each side. So there's 6 houses over there and 6 houses over here. And what struck me as interesting is the fact that Jesus said, I go and I build a house, right, for us. And that's very interesting. And in the third temple, we see houses back there, way back there. And, you know, it's just, they don't even accept the Gentiles yet. They're building a house on the third temple, if they ever do build the third temple. But it's interesting to get to just walk around a model, right? And I mean, it shows you more than even what they could have, because they could have never seen from above like this. They just never could have examined that. They, you know, there is one thing that I find interesting, right? And that's that. Is that the stairway that Jacob, right? Does this represent the stairway that Jacob, and in his dreams, he saw a stairway go to heaven? And was it in the original? I don't know. But I do find it interesting. Anyway, I thought I would share this and see what other people thought. Now, this temple represents God's true temple, right? This is a foreshadow of Christ and the body of Christ. Christ being that temple, right? So, anyway, I hope I didn't hurt nobody's feelings, but I hope you enjoy.